Hey people, Demon here. Today I am reviewing Centaurworld Season 2. I think there was 8 episodes. 8 episodes in all. Maybe there was 9, but I'm pretty sure it was 8. Anyways, Centaurworld Season 2. This was a fairly good one. I feel like it wasn't as good as the first one. But it was still fairly good, and it wraps things up pretty nicely. I'll try to do spoiler free than spoilers. So, spoiler free, the voice acting pretty good, just like the last time. um, the storyline, I would say, a bit rushed, but that's beside the point. It's still a good storyline, even though it was a bit rushed. Um, the animation, just as good as last time, if not a little bit improved. The music from last time was a little bit better than this time, although there was a few songs at this time that were pretty good. Although I would still say the music from last time was better. um, let's see. Other than that, pretty good. Pretty good all in all. Pretty good just in general. Not as good as the first season, but pretty good just in general. And I did like how it wraps things up. Anyways, let's move on to spoilers.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, share this video, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
So, spoiler alert. So this is basically continuing off of last time, where they have to fight the Nowhere King, where Ryder, that's her name, Ryder. At least that's the only name we know her by. She has to convince the humans, and Horse has to convince the centaurs. And Horse does a very bad job of this, although she does end up convincing some of them, and Ryder actually does end up convincing the humans. So she does a better job than Horse does. And I do like the fact that we get to see a lot more of Ryder and her world in this season, which was lacking in last season. But anyways, we get to kind of see both of these people try to get an army together to fight the Nowhere King. The Nothing King? Nothing King, not Nowhere King. Anyways, we get them together. They try to get this army together to fight the Nothing King. And of course, Horse is having a terrible time because centaurs are ridiculous and stupid. But at the end, she ends up getting a fair sizable army, even though technically they're not an army, they're just kind of all there, and they just kind of join the fight. So that happens. So that happens to Horse. And Ryder, on the other hand, tries to convince the humans, what she does a fairly good job at, but then they almost retreat after they lose a crap ton of humans, until they see a centaur, and they're just like, okay, we're going to go to war for these people. We're going to go defeat the Nothing King. This is his name, Nothing King. So anyways, they go to defeat the Nothing King. At the end, they end up in this big battle, and Horse realizes she has powers to go into people's backstories, which is interesting, and we get to see everybody's backstory, except for the the zebra mix, the zebra. What would you call it? Zebra centaur, I guess. We can see everybody's backstory except for his, which is kind of sad because I want to see his, but anyways, we can see everybody else's. So yeah, that's a thing that happens. And then at the end, we all meet up on the battlefield, where the humans don't show up and the centaurs aren't ready yet. So Horse decides to go into the past of the Nowhere King and find out his deep dark past. And it turns out his past is really messed up. It turns out he used to be around when the portal was open, And humans and centaurs used to live together. Although humans, I will admit, a little bit of assholes to the centaurs, but that's beside the point. And he fell in love with a human princess, but he didn't think that they could be together, so he ended up splitting himself, and he made himself into a human. But he didn't realize that his other half, the animal half, would still have his memories and feelings. So his animal half is still like it still has like feelings and stuff, and it can still talk, and it has like consciousness. But he goes on to marry the princess, and it turns out to be a general, by the way. Spoiler. He goes on to marry the princess and lock his other half away because his other half threatened to destroy the whole plan. And he just could not have that. So he locked his other half away, slowly driving him mad and making him into the Nothing King. It's really interesting the way he did it and stuff. Really cool. And then after that, Horse leaves because that's the only way she can stop the war. And she goes to Ryder, tells her what's happening, and Ryder doesn't believe her because Ryder thinks she's just being stupid and she's a horse. And then she gets betrayed and almost dies. But she doesn't die. And then the old lady from last season at the end, she's kind of with the the bear centaur. I guess, I don't know, they look like an old married couple almost. It's kind of weird. At least friends, at least. And at the end, she comes to save the day. She recombines the Nowhere King with the human half, and she basically kills them off screen. So, are they dead? There's a chance that they might not be, but I'm pretty sure they're dead. I don't think they wanted to show the killing off screen. And that song she sang really, really deadly. This really really something else. And she's just like, when I see the life leave out your eyes and stuff like that, like, ooh. So that part's really cool. I do like that whole like Nowhere King's backstory and how he became the Nowhere King and all that. And then at the end, everybody's free to go back in between both worlds and talk to each other, and they save both worlds. And then Horse becomes a I forgot what you would call a shaman. Yeah, a shaman, I think that's what they're called. She becomes a shaman, gets her own houseboat that can fly, and goes on a journey with her pack. And this pack includes her rider this time. So her rider's there, and her rider's hair turned all poofy. So that happens this time. Is there going to be a season 3? Perhaps. I don't know if there will be, because I kind of doubt it, because they wrapped up everything really nice and neat. But if there is a season 3, it will probably be an adventure, and we'll get to see more of the human world and probably more of the centaur world. And they get to ride on a flying boat. But yeah, really good. I really like this one. It wasn't as good as the first one. It was kind of rushed at some parts. I feel like they kind of rushed this one, to be honest. Because the first one was like 10 episodes, and this one was only 8 episodes. So I feel like they kind of rushed this one. Although, I did like the ending to a certain extent. I feel like Ryder should have died, but whatever. I really liked the Nowhere King storyline. Pretty cool. But yeah, all in all, pretty good. I suggest watching it if you watched the first season. It's pretty good. And if you haven't watched either season, go watch it. It's pretty good. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification. That's the best way to keep my channel. Link down below to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, friends, stay sane. Peace.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, and share this video. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
Shadow, my baby, I love you so much. You're my baby. And you love to sleep in the bathtub. 'Cause you're a weirdo. Shadow, look. Look over here, buddy. Look over here.